Greetings. This is Coach Veronica Marie, and I'm here to help you live a healthier and a happier life. Today, I would like to share some encouragement to those who are dealing with various health issues, especially ones that are threatening life. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I was devastated. I didn't understand how I was expected to live with this in my body and still carry out my normal functions because there were all these tests that needed to be done, and there was time in between tests to interpret them and then get to appointments, and it was a lot, and it still is a lot. I was expected to go back to work, go back to homeschooling, go back to my social life when on the inside I felt devastated. I struggled for a while with what to think, how to encourage myself, how to put one foot in front of the other, because even that just felt daunting. I felt heavy. Even things that were previously enjoyable no longer felt enjoyable. I didn't feel the people around me really understood the depth of it. And I could tell in their responses that there was a limitation to their understanding, and that limitation was either their own pain or their own inability to process what was going on. And so I often felt lonely. I got tired of people trying to positively think me out of what I was feeling, and people unable to listen deeply because they didn't want to hear what my fears were. And fears are very real. And I've always felt, and I still felt, even more so I still feel rather, even more so now, that fear deserves to be looked at. Fear deserves to be acknowledged, investigated, and the information taken from that needs to be integrated into everyday life. So fear is normal, and you should feel your fear, but you should also have help in sorting through it if you don't know how to do that already. For me, I knew how to sort through the fear because I had been doing it for years. It just was a lonely feeling because I wanted to talk a lot. But in talking, there was a lot of unsolicited advice, a lot of silence, emoji responses to my text, a lot of feeling hush, don't say that, don't think like that kind of feelings or responses. And the the pervasive feeling was loneliness. And I had to learn how to encourage myself in the ways that felt encouraging. In addition, I had to learn that having beautiful conversations was going to be a game changer for me. I have a friend who is going through her own health space, and we actually got diagnosed around the same time, and talking to her feels comforting. And it's not that she's really saying any particular thing, and I'm not saying any particular thing to her. It's just the resonance, the deep understanding that what is being said and felt needs to be acknowledged. And we are able to have in-depth discussions about hard topics concerning diagnosis. And so that was a lifesaver for me. Conversations with spiritual people about ascension and evolution, that was helpful. Having people around who could participate in different kinds of conversation and stimulation was helpful because it added an additional energetic component where I could be uplifted, not just by talking about what was going on, but also by exploring the minds of other people. I am going to continue recording these podcasts because I know someone can use them. I am not inviting any advice. I don't need any research or want any research. That's the other thing that started happening. I was very reluctant to share with anyone what I was going through because I didn't want the unsolicited advice. Everybody has an opinion about the medical field, and they have an opinion about therapy and different forms of therapy. They have an opinion about medication and what is natural and what should be done. And it's almost like everybody is an expert in the diagnosis, but in their own life, I found they might struggle with something like the flu or a cold, so all of a sudden they became experts about my diagnosis, and I didn't like that. So I was reluctant to share that with people. When I did, there still were times where people started sending videos about why people have this, the metaphysical reality, or the dangers of treatment, and none of it was helpful. Because what I really needed was a hard conversation more than sharing of information when they didn't even know what I was going through. They didn't know the true diagnosis, any details. They just started spouting things. Take black seed oil, take this, take that, go here, go there, without any details. Without any knowledge of what was really going on. And I just began to see that most people just they do not know how to have a hard conversation. They don't know how to plug into the soul. And so they begin to reach for things like that. And initially it was irritating. And then I learned that this is a byproduct of living in the reality that we live in where souls don't really connect intentionally. So people are without skill. That's it for now. I encourage you to find what you need, things that inspire and uplift you, and create more of that, do more of that. And I have some deeper reflections, but for now, I am Coach Veronica Marie, and I'm here to help you live a healthier and a happier life. That's when things are going well and when things are not going so well. You can reach out for coaching at veronicamarie.com. I also have digital products and also a printed workbook you can purchase as well. Have a good creation. Ashe.